Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the RDO podcast. You're speaking with Regina Benz. Got a special guest for y'all today. We got Miss B on my line. Say hello, Miss B.
Hey guys.
Y'all gonna see her a lot, so just to let you know that. So just don't be mad. Don't be mad when y'all see her. You know, you see me, you might see her. You might. It's what it is. So, how you doing today? What's going on in your world?
I am doing great. Well, you know, as always, I have my hands in everything. So between this matchmaking company and this transportation business, I'm just all over the place right now.
Awesome. Go ahead and elaborate on those. Elaborate on your adventures.
So, wow. So the transportation company is a pilot transportation company. They are like the vehicles that you see when you see wide load trucks. So they are the vehicles that are either driving in front of the truck or behind the truck. So this is actually a starter company. So right now, our prediction within our first year is over six figures.
Nice.
That's with 3 vehicles. So we already have the vehicles. So more or less, we're just kind of like pushing to get those final clearances so we can be able to put them on the road and get started with that. And then with the matchmaking company, it is going to be based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I have a partner that's going into business with me. So she is a therapist out of Charlotte, and we are going to help bring people together in a more organic way, especially for like those who are having a more harder time dating, especially during dating services like dating apps. I don't know if you've experienced that or not, but dating apps suck. And, you know, like for a lot of people, it's kind of like you have a 50-50. Let me not say suck, but you have more like a 50-50 chance you might meet somebody great. You may not. So we're pretty much going to start bringing people to the forefront and allowing them to go out on multiple dates within a certain period of time and matching them with people that might match closer to their potential instead of somebody who can pretty much kind of catfish you.
Okay. Yeah, back in the day, I used to be on those sites. Let's be real. Before I got married, I used to be on those sites like crazy. I basically was the master of them sites, back and forth. But you know, I definitely understand the risk doing those. So I'm glad you are bringing another level to the events to where, okay, hey, I'm going to see you in person right then and there. We're going to talk. I like that. Versus
Yes.
I'm going to write you and I'm emailing you, but I'm going to tell you, you know, the extravagant part of me versus the real part of me. Because you see that a lot. You know, people be deceiving online. People be faking things out. So I'm actually like what you're doing. You're basically putting people in accountability mode because I'm going to see your face and talk to you. And you're going to see my face and talk to me.
Mm-hmm. And then you're getting more kind of like the quality that you want. You know, the worst thing about like dating apps, because I have been on them, I've tried using them because it was recommendations from like friends of mine, like, hey, try this one. Well, you should try this one. You should try that. And people kind of like filter themselves. So it's like you might only get hit shots of somebody with not a full body shot. Sometimes you might get, you know, old pictures from like 20 years ago, and that's not who they are today. But then when you put your filters in and you're just like, okay, well, you know what? I want somebody that's going to be from this age to this age. And the app says, oh, well, we're going to go ahead and just adjust your preferences. So now your preferences are going to be like this. Or, oh, well, we know that you want someone who doesn't have children, but what if you actually get somebody that has kids? So we're going to give you this person here. And yeah, that's great that you decide to do that. But if that's not what I want, let's not give me something that I don't want. It's like, you know, and me being a vegetarian, if I go somewhere and I'm telling you that I don't eat meat, do not offer me a chicken Alfredo and say, oh, yeah, I understand that, but here's a chicken Alfredo anyway.
Don't be hating on chicken Alfredo. I just had some 2 days ago.
Now I do miss my chicken Alfredo. Like, don't get me wrong, but now in the stage of my life, there is no chicken Alfredo, and I think that's the same thing with people's dating preferences. What you might have liked back then, you don't like now. You know, the same way your taste buds change is the same way like your dating style changes, especially once as you start getting a little bit older. You know, like with us, we're like in our 40s, and at that stage, we kind of we know, you know, we have more of a sense of idea of like, okay, you know what, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is what I'm willing to accept, this is what I'm not willing to accept. And you're then aligning yourself with those people, you know?
Ooh,
So
sheep
like,
mentality.
yes.
Ooh, yes. Okay, okay. No, I get it, man. People starting to become, well, people been sheep for years and years and years. I'm just realizing everybody's sheep at this point, but that's okay. I'm in my 40s. I finally learned that not be sheep. But I've always been like that. I've never been that person to follow a crowd. That's just not how I roll. And you know me better than anybody. You know, we know each
Mhm.
other. Over half our damn, over half our lives. What the hell?
Yes.
What's going on? What are we doing? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Miss B and I, we've been friends, best friends for so long that we crossed generational boundaries. We are family at this point. She even came to my wedding. She came and jetted out before, early is anything, but that's okay. She had prior commitments, and I appreciate her even
But I
driving all
have
the way
the
from Atlanta to North Carolina,
video.
right there. Like, she did it. And I'm always respect that. I always have a love for that. That she did it. Well, other people, oh, I'm gonna come. Never did. So I'm cool with that. So since we're talking about relationships and all of that, how you feel about porn? Yes, Ms. B, I was asking you a question.
You know, this is one of these subjects because I did have this conversation actually a couple of days ago.
Oh,
And
no.
Anthony and I were talking about it, and I was like, you know, I'm not a porn person. Not at all. We're like, he has watched porn with like his exes, and I'm just like, you know, that's just not my thing. And now he's like, well, you know, that's what I used to do then, but I understood why he did it. So, and
Mhm.
they basically did it because they were trying to see like different positions, different things they might want to try out or whatever. You know, I know what I like. I don't need to watch it. I mean, we can make one, but I don't need to watch it.
PG. We're talking about PG. No, I'm just playing. Nah, this was raw. You can say what the hell you want to say. This ain't no PG shit. This ain't no restrictions. You heard what she said. She said, make a movie. She don't want to watch the imitation. She want to be the product. She is the product. She wants to create content creation, ladies and gentlemen, on all forms. So check this out. This is
I mean, so how do you feel about
porn? You know what's crazy? I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan of porn. I always felt uncomfortable watching sex scenes, period. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know. I always been like that. Like, I always get uncomfortable watching sex scenes. So watching porn, that kind of does nothing for me. Now, I'll keep that to myself. But yes, porn, it is what it is. I can watch like 20, 30 seconds and call it a day. But to watch scenes, to watch a whole episode, I can't. It's just there. Like, ooh, if you seen tits, you seen tits. By any way you want, you still seen tits. You saw one ass, you see all asses are the same. Technically, unless you want to BBL yourself, then that's different. Then it's not an ass no more.
it's
a prop.
absolutely.
But you seen one, you seen them all. Like, what is different about porn now versus porn back in the day? Nothing. You do the same crap. Kiss, suck, fuck, bounce. Now tell me I'm lying. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't
my
know.
bad. They have to do the scene where I'm a repairman, or hi, I'm your landlord and I want my rent money. And you, I don't want rent money. So, and then it all, that's happened 20 million times in the porn scene. What's new?
Sorry, that's my neighbor's dog. In case if you
That's
heard
all
it.
right. He can be a part of the conversation too. So don't mind me. And ladies and gentlemen, please forgive me because my camera's up here, and everything else is down here. So am I looking at? I know y'all like he's not looking at the camera because I got too much things going on. So forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. I will try to fix it, just not right now. Take that. This is raw. I don't do editing. I don't know how to edit. So this is raw. Get in where you fit in, right? So
I am here for it.
So the reason I was bringing up the porn situation because you live in a state of South Carolina. Nobody needs to know where, but you live in a state in South Carolina, just like me. I'm going Pornhub right now, and voila, everything pops up. But we crossed the border to North Carolina because I tried it. I realized I tried it, and Pornhub.com. Nope. They said age verification. And there's a few states doing that. Texas is doing it. Florida. A few states. So my question to you, Ms. B, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about keeping minors, and that's right, minors, children, off of porn sites?
Oh, you know what? That's it. I always thought that there was an age verification on these sites. That when you go to the site, that there is going to be an age verification that asks you, like specifically, are you over the age of 18? Growing up in my house, like I don't know about everybody else, but my mom always made us like cover our eyes or like turn our heads whenever there was like a nude scene in a movie. So until we turned 18 is when we were able to see that. In movies now, it's like a lot of soft porn, so you always see like some kind of like sex scene. For me, I agree that I really wouldn't want my 17-year-old watching somebody, excuse my French, since we're uncensored, but get fucked in the ass. Like, I just can't see that being a thing for me, and me being like, oh yeah, that's okay. I want you to be able to see this, and watch it because this is it. Because what you see in a porn is not totally reality. A lot of those things don't actually happen. It's just pretty much kind of staged entertainment.
It is definitely staged, especially with the process they got to go through to do it in front of people. I couldn't do it. I need one more extra person. I'm like, yeah, wet rope. There it is. So I'd rather keep my private time private. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, I am all for it 100 million %. And yes, that's a weird number, but I support it. You want to know why? Because let me tell you why. And maybe I might be controversial, but I can give two shits. All this is created by the progressive liberal movement. Let me tell you something. Now, for me, I guess I'll go political for a hot second. I am of a moderate situation. I believe there's good ideas for both Republicans and Democrats. I really do. That's why I'm independent. I am registered as an independent. Then that means I can choose who I want to choose. But when I'm starting to see the liberal agenda, the progressive agenda, because the progressive is even more far left than liberal, are getting mad because this is a breach of free blah 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 whatever, free speech, whatever. I don't want my child looking at something they don't need to be looking at. I don't want my child thinking, I can do that because I'm seeing other people with this sexuality, so I can do it. No, thank you. I'm not for that. Parents need to raise their children, not websites, not government. We need to get parents back into making the rules for our children, point blank period, not the government. So I am all for the banning. I wish they do it in every state, because you should verify your age for porn. You should. You under 18, yes, because y'all don't need to be looking at that now. Are there ways that people are gonna look at other things? Of course, it always happens. So how do we stop that? How do we stop the workaround? Because I did the workaround. All I gotta do is get a VPN, sign a VPN, put me in another city, and I can watch it all day long if I want to. So what makes children that are smarter than me these days not figure that out in 10 seconds?
Because of the fact that there are so many other ways for them to be able to do that. So even though you ask for an age verification, you just want them to click the button to say that, like, hey, I'm over this age. You're not asking to see their driver's license. You're not asking to see some kind of ID that has that information up there. And I mean, I can speak for me. By the time that I was 17 years old, I already had a fake ID. So I was already 22 because I was getting clubs.
Back in the day,
so because of that,
like for real, back in the day, I could have gotten, like, now, before 2001, 9/11, before that, I can go to Paterson, New Jersey, go downtown Paterson, go to one of the little stores and give me an ID card. Can't do that no more. But it used to be, I can get out of it $10. Got me an ID.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know what would be a great workaround for that, because it's going to happen. And, we live in a society where everything is so sensitive, so they have all these censorships of, what you can say, what you can do, et cetera, et cetera. But it doesn't stop people from finding a way to be able to get around that. I mean, so for Florida to come up with this thing of, oh, we're going to do this. I mean, unless you decide that you're going to ban it for the entire state that I know is making money off of a lot of sexual activities, which you're not going to do, because that's how you're making your money, like you're locking up prostitutes, and that actually gives money to the state. So because of those things, you're not going to really stop your money. So you're doing it, but for what point?
Right. You brought up a great point. Because it's a cash grab. People got to make money somehow. So if they're unfortunately can't go in certain states because of certain bans, I guess they losing money. But I'm cool with that too, because kids don't pay you. Kids don't pay you. Kids shouldn't have to. I tell my children all the time, be children. You don't need to worry about sexuality right now. You don't need to worry about anything that you don't have to. Focus on being a child, because you're going to grow up faster than you realize. And tell you, from every adult will tell you this. You don't want this life. We all wish we was kids again.
At all.
Damn it, I say it every day. Can I be 7 again? I want to be 7. I just want to be 7. Because if I had all the knowledge now, if I had all the knowledge then like I do now, I might be Elon Musk, Black Elon Musk. Because I'd be rich as hell, wealthy, and with all the knowledge.
Absolutely.
Even though I don't regret anything that I do in my life, because I fell down so many times, but it trained me. It set me up for success, because I fell down. I fell, and I had to learn how to keep getting up. I'm afraid the people now, they never fell yet. So when they fall for the first time when you're an adult, they're not going to know how to handle that. They're not. How you feel about that?
As a person who has had my ups and downs, and you being like my best friend, we talk about everything, highs and lows. A lot of times I look back at things in my life and it's like, wow, I wish that somebody would have shared those things with me or given me that knowledge and things of that nature, where a lot of things I have learned the hard way. That has been interesting, especially because like I meet very successful people who are like cream of the crop. And then they tell me how they made their success. And some of them have very unfortunate stories, but a lot of them are just blessed that they had parents who pushed them in the right direction or geared them to where they needed to be, you know? I don't regret anything that I had to go through. But I do wish that, you know, if there was an easier road, I would have loved to have been able to travel.
But you know what though? Would you want the easy road, the path of least resistance?
Sometimes I feel like I should have gotten it.
Okay, yes, we all want the path of least resistance. We all want that, yes. But at the end of the day, if we keep doing the least resistance, are we going to learn anything? Or we just going to keep doing it until we can't do it no more? And then we're stuck.
So I think of it like, so remember the other day when I was driving back from my mom's house and we were on the phone and I was like, what the fuck is going on out here? Because I'm driving in the middle of nowhere and I'm trying to get back home. Sometimes I like that straight road. I don't mind it having a couple of like bumps in the road. I don't mind it having a couple of twists and turns. I don't mind it having a couple of hills. But when I was driving through the other day, it was just like, it had too much, too much resistance there. Like there was no room to breathe, you know, and sometimes there has to be a breathing period, you know? So I might not want to take the road with the least resistance because of how I was built. Like growing up in the projects, like you don't have time to be weak. You don't get that soft road, you know? So you have to be a little bit more harder and a little bit more abreast to things. But every once in a while, I would like to be able to have a little bit of smoothness on that road, just a little bit, you know.
So, if I understand correctly, we don't want to pass with least resistance, but we want to sometimes we want to find the middle ground, so we can learn from both.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. I like that. I'm gonna steal it. I like that, even though I created it. I like that.
This is recorded, right?
We are recording. You heard me. You can play it back. You can play it back.
Run that back at like 22 minutes. Run it back.
22. Fine. You still can't copyright it. No copyright. My page.
Oh, geez.
So we're talking about all this, and I know my title is Florida Recreating the Rules? I know we spent 23 minutes talking about other states, and Florida's included, but I want to play something. Because this has happened also. And I want your thoughts on it. Ready?
Okay.
Let's go. And this is from another website, Fair Use. And I chose a site that's not mainstream media. I don't know this site per se. I looked at it before anything India Today, because at least they're talking from the standpoint of not opinions, but actual news. So I want to play this for y'all, and I want y'all to tell me, and I want you, Ms. B, to tell me what you think after it's over. Okay?
Absolutely.
Sorry about that. All right. This is a nice little presentation. How do you feel about that HB3 law that is going to take effect in Florida January of next year?
I agree with it. Um, I know that I'm a little bit more old school in a lot of things. However, because of the fact that one, when social media accounts were supposed to be created, you're supposed to be over a certain age. Initially, it was 14 and then it dropped down to 13. But I know people that are 8 years old with social media accounts that I do not feel like they should have. I feel like, if anything, it should be something that their parents are monitoring because there are child predators that are out there. These kids are exposed to a life that they really shouldn't be exposed to. Because for me, like I tell any of my friends, I'm like, hey, I'm a I'm a grown woman. Don't have your children to send me any friend requests. I'm not going to be the person that your children need to, see on social media because whatever I post is whatever I post. Like, granted, I'm not posting anything that's like nude or anything like that, but I have slight potty mouth every once in a while. And because I do, like, you don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, but I don't want to have to censor myself or govern myself because your child is now friends with me on Facebook. I don't want to do that. So I totally agree. And then being able to put a fine on it, I think it then makes the parents accountable. And we need to start having more accountability, because it affects like their schoolwork and everything because they're at school, but instead of them learning, they're on their phones, just kind of, looking at, reels that could be on any website that they decide to get on.
But
What do you
me with
think?
social media, you know me, I hate social media. That's why I kind of only have one. But unfortunately, I have to create more if I'm gonna grow, which fighting that battle every day. For children with social media though, with so many things going on with child pedophiles. Yep, I'm gonna say it, pedophiles that they target these children, right? I have a 10-year old and she's online, she does social media, but we make sure she does it the right way. And she will let us know because I even asked her, I said, hey, what would happen if some random person just hit you up on Snapchat and says hi? Her answer was, first I'm gonna delete it and then I'm gonna tell an adult. I love that because if that's your first thought, then you're already ahead of the game. Because you see a lot of children are curious. They're curious. And that's the
Absolutely.
thing people need to understand. Children are curious. So if somebody hits them up or they go on social media and look at certain different things over and over again, well, number one, you're programming them at an early age, for one. to look at unrealistic expectations, for one. And number two, you're giving platforms to sick motherfuckers. You're giving platform for sick people who will, let me sign myself up as a little child, and I'm gonna talk to this little person and do what I need to do to victimize. And I know the courts in Florida is gonna fight that to tooth and nail because there's freedom of speech, freedom of, yeah. But at the end of the day, the internet, when it was first created, it wasn't created for kids.
Absolutely.
And all these social media sites, they wasn't created for kids. Facebook, for one, was created in a damn college dorm room, was for college students only.
Absolutely. And I remember that.
College club. I used to be a part of college club. It was for college students, not for children. A lot of these sites are not made for children. They got sites that's for children. Go to the Disney Channel, Disney.com or something. Even though I don't like Disney because their woke ways I can't do it, but that's a whole another world right there. But they have channels, they have social media sites for children. Let's go ahead and get to children. But you still got to be careful because people will still, fake it till you make it to where, I'm 13, so I can get in here, but you're really 46 and living in the basement, your parents' basement. Same time, I can see children, I'm going to fake my age. I'm 18.
That is so true.
So how do we work around that? Because that's going to happen.
Now that's the hard part because I remember I was a stickler with the kids about not getting on social media. And so one of them, she will remain nameless just in case if this ever circulates.
We're not going to name
decided that she was going. She decided to create 5 different Facebook pages, and the other one was not telling me about the pages. So they were both in trouble. So the other one snitched on the one that had the 5 pages. So we had to go in and delete every last one of those pages. And she created more, but the one who snitched never stated that she had additional pages. But she also had multiple pages too, but she would never tell us. And I didn't find that out until she was then 18. But from the time that they were 10, 11 years old, they are exposing themselves to social media, lying about their ages, being 21 and 22 years old, per the birthday, just so that way then they could have a Facebook account, just so they could be able to get on Instagram, just so they can be able to get on Twitter. Now that they're older, they probably have maybe 2 or 3 different pages now. But I don't control what you do once you become grown. But in my house, you have to be mindful of, what happens inside of my house. And I can't have you as a child being on sites that you're not even supposed to be on. But how do you govern that for everybody else? Technically, there's not a way. So at least being able to penalize if it comes out. So say if I see your daughter on Facebook, I can say to you, hey, you know what? Your daughter has this page. Just in case if you didn't know, then you and your wife can be able to address that, right? But in Florida, they're basically saying, nope, this is accountability on the parents. So we're going to fine you $50,000. No parent wants to pay $50,000. I'm totally okay with that.
I'm in debt for that much.
My student loans are over $50,000.
Yo, we need to create a GoFundMe page. That's it. GoFundMe page. Look, if Donald Trump's people can create a GoFundMe change to try to pay his $484 million settlement judgment, why can't we make a GoFundMe page and pay off our $50,000 in debt?
It's not a bad idea.
So, pay me, people. But anyway, to piggyback on you, I feel that this is a good thing because, and I've been studying Florida for a little bit now because in 6-7 years I might move there to Tampa when the kids graduate, because I want to live in a state with no state income tax. I'm sorry, I'm tired of paying tax. But anyway, and Florida has been the cornerstone of certain things under DeSantis, and his big thing is protecting the children. And I agree with this. Protect the children, because why do they have to grow up so fast? Why do they have to be adults or handle adult situations when their minds are not even developed to even comprehend what's going on?
Absolutely.
Like when kids go on social media, they're not going on social media to analyze. They're going on social media to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And some things are entertaining. I can't lie on that. I don't do TikTok, but everybody's on TikTok doing some crazy stuff. Fine, cool, have fun with that. But it comes to where the line gets crossed, because they inch it in until you're numb and desensitized. And that's what's going on with the children today looking at social media, because they force a little more to try to make you grow up too fast. That kids don't need to grow up that fast at all. Kids need to stay kids. And I hate the word kids because that sounds like that means a baby goat to me. So children need to be children.
Absolutely.
And I'm all for the ban. Now, of course, it probably won't make it far because the Supreme Court's going to fight it. But, well, the state courts first, and then it goes to the Supreme Court. But what's funny about the Supreme Court, it is the conservative majority, and they're 6-3. So if they even try to go that far, they'll probably just keep the rule.
Well, listen, we can only hope for the best. But I mean, it's honestly, there has to be a way that we start being more mindful to control what is happening, because I don't know if you've seen one of those videos that was circulating where like they were having parents to pretend to be children and seeing if their child would take the bait and meet a stranger online in person. And they were actually doing it. And the parents pretty much kind of like pretended to be like killers and like kidnappers and stuff like that, just to kind of like pretty much scare the shit out of them, you know? But it's like, you have to go to those extremes with your children, because what they're seeing on social media is that I meet you today and I fuck you today. You know, like they're not seeing anything that looks like morals there, in which they should actually be able to see. What they're seeing is that you need to quote unquote bust it open, you know, when you see someone, you know. So it kind of changes all the dynamics, and there has to be something of like what can be done. Because I know if I saw a little girl with a grown ass man, I'm watching that behavior just to see like, is this something else? Because sex trafficking is real. Like that shit is really happening. And there are too many kids that are turning up missing because they quote unquote decided to run away, you know, or they left the house and they disappeared because there's some white van circling in the neighborhood, you know, snatching up kids. You know, these things are real, but a lot of that, it's like, what can the parents really do, you know, or what can we do as a community to kind of like stop that from happening? And yeah, it's good that, you know, he's at least, you know, taking some kind of initiative to say, no, you know, we need to have these kind of restraints. But if that doesn't pass, what can we do to start helping at least crack down on that? Because, you know, kids are getting phones now that their parents don't even know that they have. You know,
well, I know in this household, I make sure me and my wife and I, we make sure we talk to the kids about social media, because before, you know, they were on social media before I even came in the world, before I even came in their world. So I understand, but I do pay attention to what they're on. Just because I don't look at their phone every 30 seconds to see, I do keep my eye. And what's great about the kids, what's great about our kids is they will show us what they're looking at real quick. Hey, look at this on TikTok, some crazy stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. It might be dumb to me, but I'm glad you're open to showing us what you're seeing. That means you're trusting us. And that's what we want. We want the kids to trust us and can tell us anything, good or bad. I want them to trust us so they can tell us, because we're here for their guidance. It takes a village, and we need to bring that village mentality back. Versus, absolutely. Oh my God, one parent only, and I want one. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It's been proven time and time again. It's proven right now. Look at the generation we have now. That's a whole nother subject in a half that we can talk on another episode. But for social media and kids and us as parents, number one we need to do is make sure we know what they're looking at. Will they slip sometimes? Of course. It's called curiosity. Oops, I hit the microphone. It's called curiosity. It's gonna happen. But my kids, I'm glad they let us know. A lot of parents don't even ask their kids about what they're looking at. A lot of parents don't even care. They're on their own phone on social media.
Yes.
So children are gonna learn from their parents. They see, oh, you're doing that. I want to do it too because it looks fun. And a lot of things on social media is not fun. It's subliminal. It's propaganda filled. And a lot of it is narrative based. And then the stuff I be seeing online, people do dumb shit. Just do dumb stuff. And I'm just like, stop. What is funny about this? But the children see that as, ha ha ha, he's being a clown. This is funny. Give them the views. And then when somebody get more views, guess what? They gotta keep the persona, or they gotta go even more extreme. Because guess what? You can't be content. You can't do the same stuff every time. So you gotta go more to get more. And that's when things start going awry. And that's when, like, years down the line, you start seeing people getting lawsuits and getting in trouble online because of things they've done, because they had to go so far up to try to create the dollar, to create your revenue, to where now you slip. The line has been crossed. And a lot of these content creators don't know about these lines. You need to learn that real quick. Because if not, there's going to be more laws, more rules. There's going to be more things that's going to stop them. So I believe as parents, our duty first and foremost is to protect our children by any means necessary.
Absolutely.
Hey, we've been doing this for 43 minutes. I didn't even realize we were that long. I'm for it. See what happens.
But no, at least you're letting the world know that you definitely have a lot to talk about.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
At least you're letting the world know that you have a lot to talk about.
Well, we need to talk. Well, we can't be online just breathing. That would kind of be weak and weird. Like, okay, that's the AMSR. So you trying to do some AMSR stuff to. We're on. We're just talking about AMSR. Like, no, I'm not. We're not doing all that. I'm sorry. We can, but I don't know how that will make money. But people do it though. That's a strange thing. I'll do some AMSRs, eating AMSRs, or rapping. I'm like, yo, people are bored. Humans are bored. Humans are bored. That's my final say on that. Humans are bored. Miss B, do you want to say any last words? You want to promote? Give me something you need to promote.
I don't have anything that I need to promote right now. I'm actually setting up a a singles event that's going to be taking place at Spare Time in April. And I have a small business network meetup that's also going to be taking place at Spare Time in April. It's going to be in Pineville, which is like the south end of Charlotte. So that's going to be around the end of April. I am just waiting for confirmation so that way I can be able to talk more about that. But we are expecting a great time either way. I'm all about connecting people, so I love the whole networking thing, and it's taking place after hours, so it kind of allows people to do something afterward that's still in a more friendly environment, so no Dungeons and Dragons out there in the middle of an alley. Like, we're not going to do that. So
why are you trying to alienate a whole group? You know that's a group that be angry with you. You talk about the Dungeons and Dragons now. Come on now.
I don't mind Dungeons and Dragons. I've actually been to those little when we were in Arizona, there was one that was in Tempe, down by the university, and you could go in there and they had like their own little like setup and everything, which I thought was really cool. However, we're not going to do it in an alley.
I think that'd be perfect.
This is definitely going to be indoor, and I think it's fair.
In a dark alley, so
you
people will be scared, and then they come out happy.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't want to imitate New York City in the back alleys of New York City in the 80s. No,
like we have an escape room at Spare Time for that.
I've been to Spare Time.
No.
We do have an escape room. I took the kids, and the wife and I with the kid. We went to Spare Time at one time, and it was an escape room, and we tried it. We was all frustrated because we didn't win, so we quit. Yes, we quit it. We quit it. This escape room because we didn't escape it. Uh-oh, did I lose her? Uh-oh, Miss B. Oh, she must have froze. Or she can't hear me. It's okay. It's all good.
Absolutely.
Nah. It's all good, though. No worries, because it is about that time. Look. Even if the program said, "Look, you're taking too long. You taking too long. Let's go. Wrap it up." So I guess we're gonna have to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. This has been my first video, not counting a YouTube short. I did that a couple days ago, but this is my first one in I think over 10 years. So definitely. So, do you want to let everybody know how to listen to you, how to get in contact with you?
So I am on basically everything. So you can find me on Instagram under Miss B Writes 101. And I am on Facebook underneath the same Miss B Writes 101. And I also have a professional page, which is Dashinka Bailey. I will not spell it for you, so you'll just have to figure that part out. But look, that's a lot of work. How about I do this though? I'll do something great.
Uh-oh, she about to do something crazy. What is it? Ooh, the talented Miss B. You see that correctly, right? See that, ladies and gentlemen? Dashinka@yahoo.com if you want a certified coach. That's the best advertising.
So I am. And you can feel free to reach out.
I'm sorry, I don't have it. I tried it like 15 years ago with a business card, and I don't know where that whole stack of 1,000 went.
Oh my God.
That's when I was trying to be a barber and I had my business in Atlanta for 6 months, but I got lazy. It is what it is. I was young and dumb. I was chasing ass. Fuck. It is what it is. But this is the R Deal podcast. Rojita Ben speaking with you. If you want to hit me up, you're not getting my personal Facebook. Matter of fact, Miss B gave me a good idea just now. I guess I'm going to need to create another Facebook with just the R Deal Podcast logo. You can find me on YouTube, R Deal Podcast. You can actually find me on Spotify, R Deal Podcast. I guess I'll be creating an Instagram soon. I'm still not doing TikTok. I'm still not doing a lot of other stuff. So I'll probably create an Instagram soon. And yes, if you want to find me on these platforms, R Deal Podcast, definitely like and subscribe. Please interact. If you have a comment, go ahead and jot down your comment. Free speech, right? I believe in free speech. If you come at me crazy, I still believe in free speech.
Absolutely.
But you better understand something. You better believe in free speech too, because what goes around comes around, right? So
that's right.
Let's end with this. And I want to say a phrase. Now, I'm not the most religious person in the world. Everybody knows that. But somebody said something on a sermon. And it's very short. It's very short. But I love it. It says, my job. I'm sorry. I just butchered it up. Let's say it again. My joy is my job. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about that. I want everybody to be safe. I want everybody to be healthy, live prosper, and have your own mind. Have a conversation. Tell the person you love them at least once.
Love you, man.
Love you, best friend. Until next time.
Absolutely.
R Deal Podcast. I'm out.